Hey everybody, welcome to today's update on Daily IoT. Today we're talking about testing our firmware for the hockey puck project. So I mentioned, I think it was a couple of episodes ago, that I was trying to get the Catch2 testing framework working with my firmware and was having some issues there. I got that all figured out. I have Catch2 working as well as the FakeIt library, which allows you to mock things for writing unit tests. And so I'm in a good state in my firmware where I can now write unit tests around the code that I have, which I'm really excited about. I'd like to get as much of the code under coverage as possible, and even am looking into how hard it will be to incorporate gcov into all of this so that I can get a quick run the test and a report on how much coverage I have with my unit tests. And so I want to get this as high and tight as possible so that I have a lot of confidence when I'm making changes to my code that I'm not breaking anything. And I think that really well-written unit tests can provide that. I know a lot of unit test haters out there, and perfectly honest, most of the haters that I've seen have not ever seen or themselves written very good unit tests. They can be very fragile and not very helpful at all. That is definitely a valid point, but if you do it right, I think that they are a huge benefit, and especially for somebody like me that is just me, I think it provides me a lot of ability to quickly change code and not worry about breaking things. And so I'm really excited about that. I have that all working, and things are going well there. I'm trying to think if there's other updates. Getting some estimates on CNCing the pucks. So one thing I'm learning through this process is, when you're going from maker to product, you're going to do some amount of an initial prototype run. In my case, that's 5 pucks. I'm going to have 5 production-looking pucks made up. And that run is going to be super expensive. So that's something to be aware of if you're going through a similar journey yourself, that when you do that prototype run, everything is more expensive in small quantities. And so I'm finding that out, about to spend a significant amount of money there. But also some other things is tooling. So like for the case design that I have, the tooling to get that ready to do a mass production run is like $6,000. And so that's a huge cost. And so I'm having to think about, for my run of 100, do I just farm that out and have them printed up by a service that is going to be very expensive for that low amount, but is it going to be more than $6,000 to test the market? And then if everything goes well, I look at tooling for the next run, which would be a bigger run. And so just some of the things that I'm thinking about and having to make decisions on at this point in the process. And so that's it. Just a brief update today on getting the testing framework up and going. I'm going to write some unit tests tonight around more of my code. Like I said, I want to get as much of it under unit test coverage as I can before I go any further. And so that's what I'm going to be working on next. And let's just hop into question of the day. What is your favorite testing framework? There's not as many options when you're coding in C and C++ as there are in, things like Node.js and Python and things like that. But so it doesn't have to be C, C++, just what is in general, in whatever language that you code in predominantly, what is your favorite test framework? Stick it in the comments below. Would love to hear from you. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching Daily IoT, the show where together we're learning how to make the Internet of Things one day at a time.